as a first pick Celeste. This is interesting. Qlash, I mean, I get the Celeste pick was strong, but honestly, Qlash's Scarf was doing a lot of damage too. Just didn't have Broken Myth. And that was the big factor. I wouldn't have necessarily prioritized Celeste. Celeste is so risky as a first pick. You've got so many more picks on the board. Idris is actually still available. That being said, CP Idris does get countered a little bit by Celeste, so Qlash might feel very confident about that. Basically, with the Celeste first pick, they're saying, all right, we don't want you to pick Celeste against our Idris, so we're going to pick Celeste to force you if you're going to go with Idris. I think Salty Potato should just not pick Idris. I think you just don't ban it, don't pick it, just avoid it. And Qlash shouldn't ban it either if they feel if that was their first pick. They shouldn't ban it now, otherwise they're giving away that was somewhat of a bluff. Cruel's banned by Salty Potatoes. I think that's a good call to keep them off the board. There's still a lot of strong support picks here. I do like also the Lance pick early by Salty. Qlash could have banned the Scarf, which this is the problem. They should have picked Scarf first. They should have just gone and said, hey, you're picking Celeste, we'll pick Scarf. Now, because it's too risky to pick the Idris into the, I mean, you could do it. I think Crystal Idris is still very strong, but it really puts a weird loss. Jewel comes out. We have not seen a lot of Jewel play in this competitive really competitive play at all. It very rarely does it come out. So, interesting pickup by Salty Potatoes. Likely just to get on top of Qlash. Qlash is Celeste. Grace is going to be the heal pickup. Grace not prioritized, but still a very strong support. So, great to see it come out here at this point. We'll see how they play off of the rest of this. Last final pick. They could, so for a jungle point of view, we've seen a lot of weapon junglers. Glaive's still available. I like Glaive, but Glaive's not going to be as impactful because you don't really have any squishies yet. So we'll see if Salty Potatoes builds or picks somebody here that maybe Glaive would have played well into. But now you're Salty Potatoes. You've got Jewel. Pretty good front line. Jewel's a lot of fun. It could be lane Jewel. It could be jungle Jewel. It could be crystal Jewel. We don't really know. And that's what I love about these flex picks. Gives a little bit of uncertainty to the enemy team. So really, they could go a couple of different ways. But I think one of the major things here is if you do ride Jewel into the lane, you do want to have a very, very strong non-squishy. Samuel could be, it's squishy, but could be a lot of poke. We do see a lot of Samuel play in both regions. And I like the Samuel pick when you're trying to like poke away the enemy hero. Kestrel could be picked here as well. But Kestrel would have to be very careful. A little bit risky when you've got the engage from the Glaive and the Lyra. I'm sorry, the Glaive and the Grace pick. So one of the other picks that we haven't seen yet is Blackfeather. Could come out as a CP or weapon Blackfeather as well. It's going to be Rhyme. And oh, this is such a good pick. I wasn't going to say Rhyme only because I didn't think that, this was something Salty Potatoes played a lot of. But this actually is really good into Glaive and Grace. This is so much damage to these melee heroes that, I really think this is a fantastic pick. Absolutely fantastic pick. And, you're going to be able to dish out a lot of upfront damage to Glaive. So Glaive's going to be pretty vulnerable. Grace should have enough defense to hang in there. And Celeste, this is really going to be important. This is not really a strong composition for engaging on Celeste. So while I do like the Rhyme into the Glaive, the risk here is you're not going to have the range to jump in on Celeste. If the rocket jumps don't land, if you don't get the stun on Celeste, even if you do, you're really compromised. So I think actually Qlash has a good shot here, if anything, to just poke from a distance, build up those stacks, and start deleting Salty Potatoes. All right. Does look like we're ready to get into this match, everybody. They are starting, jumping into the fold here in just a few seconds. Thanks for everybody for coming out. Again, you guys are watching the Vainglory 8 powered by VIS. I'm your host, Dragonborn, and the game has begun. Let's jump right into the fold, everybody. Qlash with this Celeste pick. Guys, this is really dangerous. It really comes down. Someone said in the chat, cow rules. It comes down to Jewel versus Celeste. If Sneaky's a godly Jewel player and can really force Merciless into bad positions, I really think that they have a shot, but Merciless doesn't need to play aggressive at all. You just need to keep landing, and I think this is the Rhyme and the Glaive's good, but into Celeste, probably not going to look too good. A little bit of engagement. Hell's Devil taking advantage of this very aggressive Grace play to get in here. Looking to maybe steal away. This is risky because it's 3v1. That would have been too much damage for Hell's Devil to even deal with. As 3-man rotation here in the jungle. We do see a lot of these laners don't rush up to lane anymore, thanks to so much more golden experience available in the jungle with a quick jungle rotation. Qlash gets up to the lane first. As oh, we do have an engagement in the jungle. Hell's Devil goes in. Nice punt to force Esquire back. But it's going to be Hell's Devil has to be, you know, rotating to the top side of the jungle to stay away from some of that damage. Into the lane we go, where a sizable amount of farming takes place, but really we don't see as much fights up here, or ganks. Could see some agonies getting here, but this is where Jule's great. Jule can jump away from these ganks, provided he doesn't get double stunned. Nice core. Oh, good stun comes in. Merciless gets rooted. Core collapse to keep Jule kind of at back, but one more Thunder Strike will do it. Does he get? He gets it, and First Blood goes over to Sneaky. Sneaky's gonna take a lot of damage, and Sneaky's gonna go down. Oh, Sneaky. Under turret for too long, and Hell's Devil gets up there in time to finish up that kill. So it is a 1 trade, but it is going to be 200 gold in favor of Sneaky. Thanks, he did get that extra 200 for the First Blood. I don't know, maybe worth it. He'll tell you it's worth it. Agony is going to get a little bit contention here. Gets slowed up. This is where the Rhyme is so potent. You don't want to be 1v1ing a Rhyme if you're Glaive, especially 2v1ing when you've got a Lance there. Hell's Devil is going to stay up on top of the lane with Merciless, so Glaive's got to be solo jungling carefully. Doesn't want to really have to actually go toe-to-toe. And actually, Esquire is going to just push all the way to the jungle. I think this makes sense. Agony's very low. Esquire's full health. Not a decent engage. Yeah, Agony's not going to be able to do anything. And look how fast he goes in. He steals away one of those junglers as well. It's going to be traded, and Agony now has to rotate out. Honestly, Esquire is going to be able... He's a level up. So he's going to be able to do a lot against Agony, even in this 2v1 condition. Gets that! Gets the tree end as well, so not really even having to back away. And Agony's so low. Boots over. He's trying to get this farm. Oh, is he going to have to give this treant? He is going to give up the treant. In the lane, we see Merciless also struggling against Sneaky. Sneaky this time. Not risky enough to stay underneath that turret for long. We are seeing Glaive doing a good job at trying to steal away Salty Potatoes jungle. Oh, he's going to get a tree. And does he get these bottom two? Doesn't. Cracks gets it. Now Agony just waiting for... Oh, he's not going to be able to get away. He's going to drop. There's another kill. So, does do a good job at getting some of that farm back from counter jungling. But he's unfortunately pays for it with his life. Sneaky's going to be... Is he going to Thunder Strike the bush? No, he doesn't. Now he just is going to... push this lane up. Gonna try to deprive Celeste from some of this gold. Celeste is moving. Oh, good job by Hell's Devil to keep that farm pushed to the center a little bit. Meanwhile, in the jungle, the lion does not sleep as Agony keeps trying to farm, trying to stay up with Esquire. Esquire is a little bit ahead of experience. Ooh, it loses out that tree, and Agony's not going to get it. Esquire trying to then push Agony into a bad spot. The jungle has intensified. Nice Holy Nova, double stuns. Just to keep, I think really just to keep Salty Potatoes in check. They're going to force them out of the jungle. In the lane, we do have Sneaky doing a great job at keeping Celeste under turret. Really deep under turret. They're actually going to push onto the turret and do some damage. So good rotation by Salty. Holy Nova gets stunned. Core Collapse doubles it up. And it's going to be a kill. Rhyme drops. Kratzy's low. He's going to have to boots away. Oh, it does get... Yeah, he gets under turret. Oh, goes in. Oh, Kratz. That's gutsy. As he gets an impale and a 3-man Githian wall. Oh, Kratz, you are playing with the... with the edge of the knife there. And now it's going to be the lane pushing back up here. Root onto the Grace. Githian wall onto the Celeste. The Kratz. Oh, Kratz, you might have played a dangerous game. Is it going to be a trade, though? Because Hell Devil's really low. Kratz actually dodges out the damage. He survives as Sneaky picks up the kill. Sneaky being very sneaky in that team fight. Kind of coming up from the bottom and just really, I think, not really giving Qlash a little bit of a mind game there as far as focusing on a support. Maybe not the best decision. Oh, nice stun. Oh, the Impale lands as well as the Valkyrie. Of course, Sneaky comes in as well to finish that up. So much combination of those crowd control items, there's just going to be a turret going down. Agony doesn't really get in there and make a difference. Nice one big red button too. Rhyme drops, but I think that's a great trade. Yeah, a little bit risky maybe to stay in there. I think Rhyme could have gone out in time, but they get the turret, and that's a huge objective early to have nailed down. Agony gonna probably take this time to try to steal away some of this farm. The gold is favoring Salty Potatoes right now. They, of course, have the 1-game lead over Qlash. So, definitely a good game so far for Salty. A little bit rough for Qlash here. I think the Celeste late game, though, will be more impactful, and that's something that's worth noting. It is going to be, of course, I mean, Rhyme will have a lot of damage, and I think the Valkyrie really will be the difference maker. And if Merciless keeps getting cut out, like we've seen, that this could be a very problematic game for Qlash. But if it gets any later than 20 minutes and Qlash is still in it, Merciless would have a good shot to be able to get back into this game. Alright, we do see a fight breaking out here. Qlash split up, rotate up. There's going to be a nice Holy Nova, but it's just catching Kratz. And now Hell's Devil's got to watch out. There's a core collapse. Sneaky's very low. Got to watch out. Heliogenesis could go Supernova. They're not going to get it. Yeah, they're not going to find too much damage. Nice big red button. Impale, but it's blocked out, so Hell's Devil's going to survive. Hell's Devil's done a good job with the blocks this game, because there's just so much crowd control on the side of both teams that, you know, as the fights break out, both supports have to be very mindful. You're going to see Agony does miss the Thunderstruck by Sneaky, and now here comes the Crystal Sentry. Oh, good job. Good job by Agony to get in there, but Sneaky, he's going to rocket out. So that's a nice use of the disengage here that comes from that ability. Sneaky playing very impressively on this duel. 2-1-1. Not a lot of kills for the side of Salty Potatoes, but the fights really have been well balanced. They've never really overcommitted. They've, you know, you only see him giving up 3 kills, and that was fortunately a little bit of a fight mistake early on. Celeste though, just, you know, a little bit behind. Again, we see a lot of prioritization to build this Clockwork third instead of the Broken Myth. And because of that, this is going to mean that Celeste isn't going to come online nearly as fast. And because the Celeste this time in this game on side of Qlash now is a little bit low, behind. Nice Impale gets in wall. But Agony looks to go in. Kratz has to be careful, as we do see a lot of damage coming out. Celeste able to do some of those Supernovas. Nice combination, though, of the Valkyrie with the Impale. So it's going to force Qlash back. Another retreat. Agony tried to maybe contest this Treant, but Squire, I think, has gotten in place. Doesn't get it, though. So, gonna have to be careful. Good stun coming up. Solar Storm almost gets the kill. And there's a Supernova from that Heliogenesis that blows up. You see how much Squire takes from that. Qlash staying in this game. They're actually going to be able to start picking up some of these fights probably as the game goes later, as Celeste becomes stronger. The Salty Potatoes need to be very decisive in their next team fights. Would actually love to see a few extra boots, maybe 2 War Treads built on Salty Potatoes, because their win condition is the engage, is getting on Celeste, and then deleting Celeste as quickly as possible. Not able to do that. Long fights will be favoring Qlash, especially long fights in the late game. Jewel, interestingly enough, does build Tornado Trigger second. So again, a lot of prioritization by Sneaky on the attack speed. It's going to be a lot of damage, but I would love to see if these fights go late, a breaking point, because obviously Merciless is going to be doing damage the longer these fights go on. Sneaky needs to be able to counter. He is going to move up, try to get this turret. He gets core collapse, but that Tornado Trigger actually is coming out huge. He does get the turret. He's going to rocket jump away, but does he survive? Oh, Sneaky. Oh, he almost gets the trade on Merciless, but it is going to be blown up. Gold Miner, though, might be going over to Salty Potatoes. Are they going to be able to get in this? We'll see. It is going to be a Gold Miner as well. And Turret and Gold Miner are going to give a huge amount of gold. They are, unfortunately, did trade 1 kill for it. Oh, Kratz! Kratz is going to be contesting here with Merciless. Can he get that damage? He's playing trade, but There is a divine intervention. So Kratz is going to be forced to have to back out. Oh, nice combat roll around that that core collapse. Look at Kratz. Dude, this guy. He is definitely extended. But he gets the kill. Unbelievable. I mean, that... Listen, when you've got lemons, make lemonade. And I cannot believe Lance was able to get enough damage to take out Merciless. That is insane. Absolutely. Insane. So this, you know what? You get a turret. If you know you're salted potatoes, you get a turret. That's 300 gold. You get a gold miner. That's 400 gold. That's 700 gold per player. And you only give up one. You give up 2 kills, but you trade a kill for that as well. It's just, you know, that is definitely an outcome you're okay with if you're salty potatoes. And you can see that gold lead paying dividends. Sneaky does build a Tyrant's Monocle, so I actually like this. Oh, they're going to go in and get the stun. Agony caught out, and now it's going to be Grace. She's going to have to Holy Nova, and she gets it, but not without taking an enormous amount of damage. Oh, they're going to find Merciless on top. Merciless reflex blocks away from the Pale. So, you know, able to dodge that. That would have been devastating for Qlash if Merciless had gotten caught out as well. They're going to have to... Salty Potatoes is going to have to push this lane up. They are gonna... Oh, you got Esquire down in the jungle trying to get this Crystal Sentry. But they do find Merciless in the lane. At least 2 of them. Oh, nice jump in. But Agony gets the stun. Pushes Sneaky back. But Merciless doesn't get away. Rotates too far forward and dropped. That's another kill going over to Salty Potatoes. And a 3v2 condition now for Salty Potatoes. It's going to be an Afterburn actually over the wall to get away. So this is Qlash really being defensive here. As their final lane turret now is under siege. Salty Potatoes, they want it. They're going to get it. Holy Nova does land onto Sneaky, and there's an Afterburn, but it's not going to be. It's going to be blocked out in Agony. He's not going to survive this, is he? Oh, he is. Core Collapse misses. Kratz gets out, but Esquire, he's not backing down. He's still in the middle of this fight between Hell's Devil and Merciless, and he's doing a great job. It's actually a recall by Agony back to the base. He was doing it from his sanctuary. Hell's Devil drops. There's a trade. Oh, it's going to be a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Qlash. But that is an objective advantage, continuing to go in favor of Salty Potato. And Salty Potato is still, I'd say, still looking pretty good here with this about 5,500 gold lead. Again, everybody, you are watching the Vainglory 8 powered by BIS. I am your host, Dragonborn. Make sure you guys tune in every weekday on Tuesday and Wednesday to see the challengers in action. Oh, but we got a fight breaking out. Esquire goes in. He locks down. Oh, my goodness. He locks down Merciless, gets the kill, and now Agony's next. There's just nothing stopping Esquire, and that is not what you want to have happen if you are the side of Qlash. That is the worst thing possible. He blocks the Holy Nova. There's going to be a Merciless, divine intervention, but not enough to keep Agony alive. Esquire, he gets the kill. 2v1. Wow, what a play by Esquire. This Crystal Rhyme is really coming online. I love what he's building. Still no Broken Myth for Merciless, and Esquire actually is closer to building Broken Myth than Celeste is. So Esquire's probably going to get there in the next few minutes. This gold miner is surely going to help. And this looking bleaker and bleaker. Qlash is not doing so well in these fights. They're finding kills, but the key is Salty Potatoes, when they find kills, they're finding them around getting objective takes. And that is very, very impactful into these games. Anyways, I was saying before all that exciting action broke out, make sure you tune in Tuesday and Wednesday for the Challenger Series, the North America Challenger Series, here live on the VIS channel. VIS League is that grassroots organization. We've come into Vainglory, and we love what we do, so make sure you guys support us by giving us a follow. We greatly appreciate it. We love bringing these competitive matches to you guys, both in the form of Challengers, Vainglory 8, and VIS Pro. We do see Salty Potatoes now, really just able to roam through the jungle here. I did miss Sneaky, I guess, was trying to backdoor. He got one of the turrets, but he is down, so now Qlash with a turret up, they do have a slight advantage. I think you gotta be a little bit careful if you're Kratz and Salty Potatoes in general, because if you lose your support here, Salty Potatoes will be at a disadvantage. Agony goes in pretty deep, but I think Kratz is in position deep enough. And ultimately, just really trying to keep Qlash from going after this Kraken, and he does it. Esquire's here, and Sneaky is now rotating to the center of the jungle where Kraken's at to meet up with his team. Qlash is going to just clear out the back here. Their win condition really is going to be impactful when Merciless can get this Broken Myth. The late game power from Celeste will be important. You already have a Broken Myth, but oh, they got the Kraken. I didn't even missed it. Oh, goodness. I'm so sorry, everybody. But they do get the Kraken. Now it's going to be a 3v-man fight. It's going to be a 2v3 as we see Jewel rotates up from the top of the lane. But Jewel might be able to split them, or is the Qlash going to be able to rotate up and try to find Jewel? Now it's a 3-meta game. They're all together, bunched up. Esquire, he's under a lot of damage, but he finds Hell's Devil. Hell's Devil is going to get a Holy Nova, but not before going down. Jewel drops. But Merciless is the next to fall. It's a 1v1 with Agony, the last man standing. And Kratz, honestly, Kratz just wants to keep... Oh, nice Impale to stop the recall. Kratz just wants to keep Agony from going after this Kraken. That's all he cares about. That Kraken can easily end the game himself. So Agony, unfortunately, getting rooted and impaled. This has got to feel awful for him. And I think at this point, Agony knows that he's lost the game. So he's going to probably just get the kill here. I will say there's actually the recall from Celeste is coming up soon enough. They might be able to kill this Kraken before it goes back. And then if that's the case, that would be absolutely huge. There's the damage. Let's see if we can get it. It's not really a base race, but boy, if they do not kill this Kraken fast enough, this will be the end of game. And a good job by the side of Lance to try to keep it back, but they actually are going to get the Kraken. Nice job. Nice job by Qlash to get in here in time to finish that up. Almost the end of the game here for it. And so everybody's, oh, this might have been a mistake. Sneaky goes in too far, but the crystal, it's almost dead. Sneaky's going to get it. He gets it. Tornado Trigger, so much damage with a double Tyrant's Monocle and the Tornado Trigger. That's 100% critical damage. Unbelievable play. Great job by Sneaky getting in there. I mean, you know, because the crystal was so low and it hadn't rehealed yet, it was so easy for Sneaky to finish it off. And just like that, 2 games to 0. Salty Potatoes takes it, and they are your victors here in the European region. And that concludes our Vainglory 8 for EU here. Thanks everybody for coming out and watching it. This was a pretty exciting matchup. Salty Potatoes, they look really, really good here. Esquire and Kratz on both sides are absolutely phenomenal. Playing very well. So definitely a good look and a really good fight here. Yeah, you know, really the difference was that Crystal being below half health. I mean, I don't think Sneaky would have lived long enough if it was